In this video, we're going to be taking an ordinary plug like this and turning it into a quad plug like this. No cutting is necessary, no drywall, none of that stuff. I'm going to show you how all this works, so without further ado, let's dive right in. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do when you start any project like this is go find your panel box, find the breaker that goes to the plug in question, and go ahead and cut that power off. We don't want to get shocked. Alright, so normally when you want to go from a single gang plug like this to a 2-gang style plug like this that has 4 outlets, you have to remove your old plug and cut out the drywall to accommodate a 2-gang box. You have to get your old box out of the wall and replace the box. Then on the individual plugs, you have to wire them together on the inside of the box and put it all together. Well, this gets rid of all that necessity. You don't have to cut anything. The way that this works is you have the wires, they hook up right here on the back. This one that goes around here is just a ground, so that's safe to touch. It's not quite as clean as your 4-gang plugs would be if you did it that way, but this gets rid of a lot of work. All right, so this is pretty cool. Now these do come in a 15 or 20 amp option, and as you can see here, I'm using this in a kitchen, and it's downstream from a GFI plug. You don't want to remove a GFI and replace it with this. You'll lose your protection, but if it's downstream, you're still protected. So let's get this old plug out of the wall now that we got the power turned off. All right, so normally these kind of plugs take a 632, but since we have this countertop here and the box is actually recessed into the wall, the builder has used these cabinet screws right here that are about 2 inches long. Well, as you can see, this is thicker than that, so I'm going to need even longer screws. So I couldn't find any 632 screws that were quite long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and use the same type of screws, except I painted the heads white because they'll actually be visible right here. So I don't want those ugly screws showing right there. So let's go ahead and finish taking this one out. As you can see here, we've got 2 sets of wires, one coming in from the GFI, and one going out to another plug somewhere else. All right, so very simple. When you're removing a plug, just unscrew all the wires. Sometimes you even have to take the screws all the way out and just remove the plug. Very easy. All right, so you kind of have to strip the wires back a little farther on this plug than you do with a normal plug. They do provide a strip gauge right here that you can go by. So I've taken my wires and I've straightened the loops out so I can strip them back to the proper length. And if you hold it up to the strip gauge, we're right there where we should be. So let's go ahead and straighten this one out. This is 12 gauge wire, so we'll strip it to the 12 gauge and we'll check it. And we're right about where we should be right there. All right, so our brass colored screws right here goes to our black, that's our hot. Our silver color screws is our white or our neutral, and of course the green with this ring around here is the ground. Now if you take a look between these hot screws right here, we have 2 little tabs right there. If you break those tabs out, you can turn this into a switchable outlet where part of the plug stays hot all the time and the other part of the plug is switched via a wall switch or something like that. So what you got to do with this is if you notice these holes right here, that's how this works. Okay, we got a silver screw, so we're going to use a neutral. You push the wire down into the hole like so, and then you wrap it around the screw counterclockwise. Now the reason you go counterclockwise is because normally when you tighten the screw, you tighten it up in the direction of the turning of the screw, which is clockwise. Let's go ahead and do our other neutral. All right, so let's go ahead and get our last hot wire in there. Now don't be afraid to take the screw out if you want to fit your wire exactly right. Sometimes it's really a pain in the neck to get it in there just right, and this will also give you a nice visual of how that actually fits. Just like so. Go ahead and get our ground hooked up and then we'll be done. Remember, the loop goes in the direction the screw tightens. All right, ready to go back in the wall. Kind of neatly arrange the wires. Now in this one, it comes with pre-drilled holes in the corners right here for a metal box that has these tabs in the corner like this. But right here, we have 2 knockouts for if we're going to use a standard plug. So I'm going to go ahead and drill these out. So here's these modified screws that I made. I took regular cabinet screws and painted the tips white. Now again, if you're just using a standard installation right here, all you need is 632 threaded screws and they will work. The reason I have to do this is because my countertop is about 1 inch thick right here. There you go. Let's go ahead and turn the power back on and see what we get. Looks like it's working like a champ. Beautiful. All right, so I hope this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching.